Hello and welcome to another World of Warplanes video with me, Sir 10 Death. Continuing my recent theme of reviewing low tier planes for possibly new players or players who are a bit more experienced but missed a certain tech tree line. Today we're going to look at the tier 2 United Kingdom British fighter, the Bristol Bulldog. And as ever there will be some replay footage played by myself, playing in the background while I talk about the plane's strengths and weaknesses, what it can do, what it can't do and so on. So as I've said earlier, it's a tier 2 fighter, so it's accessible very early on in the game. In this particular matchup we're up against a lot of tier 1s, so it ought to go quite well. And I'll be completely honest with you, not all of my games go well. I'm a very average player, but this particular one was just a one that I decided to get the plane, run it out, record it and put it on here regardless of how it went, and I think it went pretty well on the whole anyway. So let's talk about the plane to start with. Firstly, well, it's a fighter and it's pretty manoeuvrable. As many of you will know if you've seen my earlier videos, I'm quite a fan of planes that can nip around quite easily, that can shift from target to target effectively, and this is one of those. Its manoeuvrability official rating is 1087, so it's one of the more manoeuvrable planes in the game. Of course, manoeuvrability comes at a cost, and that means it's pretty lightweight and its hit points are on the low side. But that is to be expected at this tier. Its guns, well, they're a little bit of a double-edged sword. They are pretty fast firing at 600 RPM, and they've got a reasonable range of 440 meters. However, the guns, I know it's just tier 2, but they are still just a pair of .303 guns, which means the damage output is on the low side. So they can work pretty effectively against other lower tier planes if you can get them in your sights for a prolonged period of time. But as you see here, this guy, I've had him in front of me for a little while now, and it sort of tickles away at him. I did a review a little over a week ago on the tier 5 Russian fighter, the I-180-3, and this plane is like a tier 2 version of that, in that it's pretty quick, it's pretty manoeuvrable, but the guns are, well, to coin a word used by one of my subscribers in the chat, pretty anemic. They don't do an effective job very well. They're okay, but they're just not stunning. The speed of this plane is it averages around mid 300s on the whole when it's going in a straight line, which is it's fairly average for that level. So it's okay. So yeah, so far this game is just it's just started out. We've just taken one zone, capped one area. I'm loitering in that area really to try and defend it if anybody comes in and try and take it before I move on anywhere else. The way I tend to play early on is to try and take one of the capped positions early on to make sure it's held and secure before trying to then start to do some work on the enemy team. So we're moving on now to another area to try and this one that's being contested in the middle, and see if we can help out a little bit there. I haven't lost much of my hit points so far, just a little bit, and I haven't also done a whole lot so far, but let's see if we can get involved here. So I'm just trying to catch up with the play. You see, even when I am boosting, the speed is fairly average at best, but I'm trying. Now these are food and drink to this kind of plane. These ground attack aircraft are big and slow. Having said that, as I said, you need time to take them out with these guns because the guns don't do a lot of damage quick. I'm okay with that, as long as you understand what your guns can and can't do. You know when to enter and when to leave an engagement. But yeah, this is perfect for this. You get behind somebody else who's looking the other way, he's actually busy tailing one of our teammates. He does know that I'm onto him, which is why he's trying to turn away, but look at this manoeuvrability. I can swing around and I'm straight back behind him again. He can't outmaneuver me, even though my guns are not doing a lot, they're just chipping away slowly at him. He's trying to get away, he's trying again, and I'm just going to get in behind him again. And that's what I love to play planes like this, ones that are manoeuvrable enough. Oh, I nearly hit the ground there. Manoeuvrable enough just to be able to stay on the tail of somebody who's desperately trying to outrun them. And that plane in front is a pretty manoeuvrable craft. He's doing his best to dodge out of the way, but he's not doing good enough. But you can just see how long this one engagement is taking, because I am managing to catch up with him every single time, but the guns can't just put a finish on him. I think possibly he was trying to ram me because he knew he couldn't outrun me. I think he's then just tried to slam into me. He's trying it again there, and I'm just having to outmaneuver him again. I think actually that's the anti-aircraft guns. I thought he clipped me there, but it's not. Now finally managed to finish him off. But that one engagement must have taken the better side of a minute. So you can see already what this plane is all about. It's very manoeuvrable. It's It's quick enough for the tier it's at. It's fantastic at getting on the tail of somebody else, like I'm trying to do again here, and sticking on their tail. Particularly good when the enemy are already engaged in combat, chasing one of your teammates down, and they don't really see you coming in and sitting behind them and just chipping away. It would be nice if the guns were a little bit more effective, but they are what they are. They do a job, they're okay. I mean, I've managed to get myself over 3,000 combat ratings so far, and we're still on the first sortie as well, so I mean that's just at 4,000 now, so I can't really complain at it. And you do see quite a few of these little Bristol Bulldogs at the lower tiers because I think they're quite a popular play. A lot of people like them. There's the grade 4 fighter. It's almost at the 4,500 mark now. So it's on the whole, this game's going pretty well. Can't really complain at it. Now this is again getting on the back of a ground aircraft. Did a little bit there. Problem with these is when you catch up with a ground aircraft, because you're going significantly faster than they are, then you can't finish them off before you would actually fly into the back of them, which is a terrible plan. Don't ever do that, because this is a little light aircraft, a little biplane that weighs next to nothing. If it hits a ground attack aircraft, it will just scratch its paint, but it'll blast you into smithereens, so please don't do it. Trying again here to get on the back end of this guy. Yep. Now this is again perfect position for this plane, but again see how it's just chipping away at him. Other planes would have finished him off there. They would have just got in behind him and taken him out of the game. But we're almost on 6,500 combat points. On the whole, would I recommend this? I think I would actually. It's fun. I mean, if you play the game, I've always said in my videos, I play any game that I play, whether it's World of Tanks or Warships or this game. I play games purely for fun. And like anybody else, yeah, you have good days and you have bad days. But above all else, if I really want to go and play something, I want to enjoy it. I want to have a nice time. I don't want it to feel like work. And this is quite a nice plane to play. You can take it out there. You can have a run around. Now I've got a decision at this point, to be honest. It's a little bit of a tactical one because the squall line's coming in 30 seconds time, and I'm on fairly low health. Now it's a questionable tactic whether you should or shouldn't do this or not. I personally think you should. Is whether you intentionally die at this point so that you respawn with a fresh new aircraft with full hit points after the squall line has closed. For those that don't understand what that means, once that squall line closes, there are no respawns unless you were busy respawning when it closed. So if I was to die right now with 3 seconds left, I would respawn and have a shiny new aircraft with all of my hit points restored and come back into the game. Now there's another example how I've got behind a ground attack aircraft and done my bit to him, and I'm getting around behind him again, but somebody else has finished him off. So the squall line's closed now. I made the decision not to finish my plane off and to keep going as best I could to try and see if I can see this game out in one single sortie, as I managed the other day in my I-16E, which was another one of the videos I uploaded. We're still going. We're on almost 8,000 combat points now, and yeah, team-wise, we're ahead of the game. We're a little past 75% supremacy, and I'm just trying now to do as I tend to do towards the end of the game when games are winding down, is to go and polish off the enemy, look for kills. In case you didn't know, there's two ways to win this game. There's the common way, which is that you actually get to 100% supremacy, which is the blue line at the top, and the less common way, which happens very rarely in fact, if you manage to kill all of the enemy aircraft off before time runs out at the end of the game. And this game's almost winding down to a close here. My pilot's got injured, and unfortunately that is the end of the game for me. And yeah, I'll cut to the end now because the game literally finishes in a few seconds there. Yeah, you can see on the whole I'm pretty pleased with that performance. Can't really complain of that. Got myself a little under 10,000 combat points. The Flying Start Award, the Supporting Fire Award, got the Subjugator Award, which is quite nice. Got myself the Grade 3 Fighter Award and finished first overall in the team. Just going to cut it to the end plates back in the garage now. So yeah, it's a tier 2 plane, and still managed to pull in mid 20,000 credits. Did quite a lot there. Quite pleased with my performance. Would I recommend the Bulldog? Yeah, it's a great bit of fun, thoroughly enjoyable. If you like fighters and you like zipping around and shooting other people out of the sky, it might well be for you. Try it out. As ever, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Do please like, share and subscribe, and I'll keep the videos coming. Thanks very much. Goodbye.